your simple division problems really depend on your memorization of the multiplication tables, because in multiplication, for example, in simple problems, when we have 2 times 2 is equal to 4, well, a division problem that might look like 4 divided by 2 is equal to 2, you're really just working in reverse, right? Because you've got these same numbers involved. 2 times 2 is equal to 4. And then when we have the answer in the division problem, 4 divided by the 2 is equal to 2, it all ties together. So with this simple division, memorization of the multiplication tables is the key. And then you'll recognize when you have 16 divided by 4, you'll know that's 4. But there's also the case for longer division problems, more difficult, that you can't memorize. There's no way. So let me show you the technique for doing longhand division. So we have our divisor bar like this, and let's just put a number like 293, and we're going to divide by, let's be simple, 2. Okay, so the technique is we take this 2 that's outside here, and we ask ourselves, how many times will 2 go into this first number 2? Well, pretty easy. It goes 1 time. 1 times 2 is 2. And then we draw a line under it. We subtract. 2 minus 2 is 0. And I don't write the 0 down. I just carry down the very next number. Okay, now we ask ourselves the same question. How many times does 2 go into 9? Well, it'll go 4 times. And so I write the 4 up here. 2 times 4 is 8. And so then I write my 8 down like this. I draw a line under it. I subtract. I get 1 as a result. Now I bring this 3 straight down. 3, and I ask myself, how many times will 2 go into 3? Well, it'll go 6 times, because I know that 6 times 2 is 12. And when I subtract these, I get a remainder 1. So your instructor, or depending on what you're doing, they'll have you write this in different ways, but I think this is a traditional way to write 146 with a remainder 1 for this problem. So we can do another one that's a little more challenging. We'll write our divisor bar here again, and we'll have 9,877 divided by 37. So some of these can be, they can be a little intimidating, but if you take them one step at a time and work carefully, you can really do these problems no matter how difficult they are. So in this case, we ask ourselves, how many times will 37 go into 98? And I have a feeling, I'm just going to guess, but I think it'll only go 2 times. So I'm going to write my 2 over the last number that I'm working with. So I'm saying to myself, how many times will 37 go into 98? Because it can't go into 9. It's too big. So I say 2 times, so the 2 gets written directly over this last number in the 98. Okay, so then now I take this I do this multiplication in parts. I go 7 times 2 is 14. I'm going to write the 4 down, and then I'm going to carry a 1 here like that. And then I say 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. I draw a line under it. I subtract. 8 minus 4 is 4. And 9 minus 7 is 2. So I know 2 is the right choice because 37 won't go into 24. That's how I kind of know it. If this number down here, if this number were larger than 37, I would have to bump this up. I'd have to erase all this and choose a 3. But in this case, we made the right choice. Or I made the right choice. So now the next step is to bring the next number straight down. So this becomes 247. Let me get rid of this blue line there. Okay. So now we ask ourselves the same kind of questions. How many times does 37 go into 247? Wow, that's tricky. Let's see. We're going to guess 3 times 37 is about 100. So it's got to be 3, and 3 is 6. I think it goes 7 times. Let's try it. We'll write the 7 down here. Now we say 7 times 7 is 49. I'm going to write the 9 down like this. I'm going to carry a 4. I'm just going to write a small 4 like that. 7 times 3 is 21, plus 4 is 25. Uh-oh, there's a problemo. I went over. So what I have to do is, let me get my eraser. I've got to erase this here. And I got to erase this 7, because I got to go down 1. I got to go to 6. Let me write a 6 down here and start over. 6 times 7 is 42. I'm going to carry the 4. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 4 is 22. Okay, so that's good. Now I'm going to draw a line under it and subtract. 7 minus 2 is 5. 4 minus 2 is 2. And 2 minus 2 is 0. I don't need to write the 0 down there. It just gets confusing. So, okay, now the last step, I'm going to bring this final number straight down. And it's going to be written right here. Now I ask myself the same question. How many times will 37 go into 257? Well, I kind of know now that 7 is going to work, because I just saw, what happened before. So let me write the 7 down. And 7 times 7 is 49. Carry the 4. 7 times 3 is 21, plus the 4 I carried is 25. Oh, look at that. I messed up again. This 259 is greater than 257. Let me get my eraser out. Okay, let me erase this guy here. Okay. Try again. 6. Let me repeat the process. 6 times 7 is 42. Carry the 4. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 4 is 22. Draw a line under it, subtract. 7 minus 2 is 5. 5 minus 2 is 3. So 2 minus 2 is 0. Okay, so there it is. That's my remainder down here. Let me bring it up here and write R for remainder. 35. And so that's the final answer. So even though these are kind of long and a little tedious, and today, truthfully, you'd use a calculator probably, or a computer to do this division problem, but it really is critical for you to take the time to learn how to do this method. It will help you as you keep going and learning more difficult concepts in math.